Hello YouTube, Z-Manzilla here, and I'm wearing a very comfortable shirt today, as you can see. This is a shirt that I picked up when I used to work at a bowling alley called Volker's in Buffalo, New York, kind of a historic spot. Historic, in fact, that what do you call it? The folks that track airplanes, FTA, I think they're called. They used to use Volker's as sort of a landmark to let them know that they were getting close to the Buffalo International Airport. So it was kind of cool, and it was a building that used to stand. It stood actually since the Pan Am Exposition, which is turn of the century stuff, and was a speakeasy at one time, and had a whole lot of history. The bowling alley itself was like one of the first automated bowling alleys in existence, and I got to work there. I got to work in the back, working on the pin setters and all that other fun stuff. But you know, I got a great shirt out of it, super comfortable. But that's not the job I actually wanted to talk about today. There was another job I had in my youth that has some interesting stories attached to it, and that I used to work in an adult bookstore. And I know you're looking at me and going, oh, how could he ever work in an adult bookstore? Oh, come on, you know. The adult bookstore I worked at was kind of the, I guess, the Kmart of adult bookstores. It was pretty big. I mean, it had 2 theaters in it, and if you don't know anything about, the adult film theater culture, you're probably better off. If it's really something you want to know about, it's Anyway, one of the interesting things about working in an environment like that is with most customer service jobs, the bowling alley included, you got to be a certain way with customers. You have to be really nice to them, and there's certain rules you can't break and that sort of thing. One of the interesting things about working in an adult bookstore is because the patrons want to spend as little time there as possible. You sort of have a little more power over them than you do in other sort of retail environments. So it did create some interesting situations. I think my favorite example was we used to have this bin that had all these discount porn tapes in it that were, we're talking about the DVD era here, and the most of the stuff in this discount area was VHS, older VHS stuff, and a lot of it was just cheesecake stuff. I can't even think of like old school like Playboy stuff where it was like barely any like bare skin in it or anything like that. It's just a lot of cheesecake. In any case, these tapes would be like, and the other ones were like just sort of really like low production value, shot in a hotel room. Models are caking makeup on to look like a 5, that sort of thing. And those were in there as well, low price. And I remember one time I'm sitting there and I'm working, and by working I mean, there's not a whole lot to do in a porn store. Once you sort of clean and mop up and all that other fun stuff, there's not a whole lot to do. So I used to occupy myself. That's how I learned how to do, how to create crossword puzzles, and I'd write songs and do art and things like that. So, but one time, I happened to look up from what I was doing and happened to notice that I saw the same guy browsing the discount box probably a half hour after I'd already seen him once. Now, it's important to note that there was not a half hour worth of browsing in this bin. It was maybe 5-6 minutes tops of browsing. And so I'm like, why is he still browsing the discount tapes? I don't get it. So I look over and I say, excuse me, sir, is there something I can help you find? Mistake number 1. So he looks up at me and he goes, it doesn't say on the box. I go, doesn't say what? Mistake number 2. He says, it doesn't say what the movie's about. And he holds up a box, and there's these 2 very bony women making out on the front of the box. Looks like it was taken with a Polaroid and then Xeroxed, like the picture. And the title is something along the lines of San Francisco Lesbians number 27 or something like that. So I take a look at this. I look at him and I go, well, if the title's anything to go by, I'm going to guess it's based on the play by Shakespeare. He left. And nothing ever came of it. But, could I get away with that at Walmart? Could I get away with that at Target? Could I get away with that anywhere else that does retail? Probably not, Another great example of a thing that happened when I worked there was at one point I was, they found out that I was a filmmaker, and they tagged me to do a training video. They said, we want to be able to train our employees as quickly as possible, so we want you to make a training video if you could, and we'll reimburse you and all that other fun stuff. I was like, hey, sounds like a fun project. I mean, anytime you get to say I did blank for a porn store, it gives you, at least gives you beer credit, in any case. So I'm shooting this thing, and we're going over. There's a section of the film where we're going over, like, you know, what the right way and the wrong way to handle somebody asking you for something that's, you know, not your thing. You know, so for example, like, the store sold rubber fists. You know, not my thing, not a lot of people's things, but there's a reason an adult bookstore would sell a rubber fist. It's because it's somebody's thing, right? So in this example, we're doing sort of like a good employee, bad employee thing, and we have the bad employee is supposed to, like, kind of go, oh, I'm not into that sort of thing, and sort of mumble and walk away. And then the good employee is supposed to say, oh, yeah, sure, sir, it's right over here, you know. Hi, airplane. In any case, while I'm in the middle of trying to, like, you know, set up this scene and get the lighting just right and all that fun stuff, in walks a friend of mine I haven't seen in ages. You know, a friend of mine from way back in the day, who will go unnamed for reasons that will soon become obvious. And he says, hey, Zilla, it's good to see you, man. I just wanted to let you know that, you know, I just joined the Air Force, and I'm going to be gone for a very long time. This may be the last time you ever see me. Is there anything you want to do, like, before I go? I say, well, I'm kind of at work right now, but would you mind helping me out with this scene? And I explained to him, I said, what you're going to do is you are in the market for a vibrating rubber fist. You're going to ask this employee for a vibrating rubber fist. This one's going to give you a hard time about it. This one is not. It's pretty simple. The only line I'm going to give you is, can you help me find the vibrating rubber fists? So at no point did I ask him to wear a leather hat and do this in a German accent. Also, at no point did I ask him to add the line, Hans will be pleased, when he receives his vibrating rubber fist. These were all things that he improv'd. So, you know, good performance there. These are the sort of opportunities you just don't get at other sort of retail places. So anyway, that's my vlog thing for today. I'm still kind of new at this thing. I'm still not even looking right at the camera when I do them. So in any case, I do hope you choose to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what sort of stories you want to hear about sort of the weird life that I've had or things that I do or whatever. So in any case, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.